Dr. Seward's Diary, 9th September. I was pretty tired and worn out when I got to Hillingham. For 2 nights I had hardly had a wink of sleep, and my brain was beginning to feel that numbness which marks cerebral exhaustion. Lucy was up and in cheerful spirits. When she shook hands with me, she looked sharply in my face and said, "No sitting up for you tonight. You are worn out. I am quite well again, indeed I am, and if there is to be any sitting up, it is I who will sit up with you." I would not argue the point, but went and had my supper. Lucy came with me, and enlivened by her charming presence, I made an excellent meal and a couple of glasses of the more than excellent port. Then Lucy took me upstairs and showed me a room next to her own, where a cosy fire was burning. "Now," she said, "you must stay here. I shall leave this door open and mine too."
It's time for Dracula Weekly. It's time for Dracula Weekly. Come in of your own free will, because that's how I should have been opening these the whole time. I am very mad at myself for only realizing this when we're basically halfway through this. But come in of your own free will. Welcome to Dracula Weekly. I am your host, Jasmine Garcia, and joining me today are...
Shamila Karanakran, and stop throwing out the garlic for the love of God!
Nah. What did we say?
My name is Callie, and Popcorn had a weird thing this week.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, Dracula came by as a cat. It was a whole
What?
fucking thing. Yeah,
Why did
no,
you
it was a
let
whole
him in?
fucking... I didn't! That's the thing. You know Popcorn with the strays.
Oh, God. Oh,
She
God.
tried to tangle herself up in the blinds again. It was a whole fucking thing.
What
Then
was
there was
this
another cat that came by, and Popcorn liked that one.
What?
Yeah, she doesn't like any other cats, but she was fine with that one. Was real fucking weird.
I'm sure that won't amount to anything.
And I am always am Ellie, and do remember that young people like and even love on impulse.
Indeed. I'm still stuck on the cat thing. How many stray cats were at your house, and was this why you missed last week, Callie?
No, I missed last week because Dracula decided to make me sick.
Oh, fuck. He's going after you now, too? I thought the whole
And then
anemia thing would have steered him away.
You would have thought that 2 weeks before that, he fucked my microphone up.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Yeah, we did notice
No.
that. Vlad, stop it.
Look, I realize listen, I realize you're mad at me because I'm mad at you for fucking with my blorbos, but enough is enough.
He is currently cackling in the back of my mind over the garlic and all of this. So, Ellie, please just hiss for a moment to chase him away.
Why would you ask her to hiss, and also why did you do it?
Because I'm trying to get him
What
out of the room.
is
I'm
happening?
finally... He is after your Dracula Daily book.
What?
Because this whole time loop started because Dracula Daily is like bringing up the story again. He sees it as slander.
All those older vampire books are slander. Let's be real.
Okay. You know what? If he wants to not be a coward, he's welcome to come on to tell his side of the story then. But considering how he's been behaving, I have my doubts.
He probably won't come on when I'm here. He's always been a little bitch, haven't you, Vlad?
Let's fucking go. Yeah, he's a bitch who believes in squatters' rights even though he's a billionaire. Let's fucking go.
I think that's just a Transylvanian thing.
It is.
Is it really? Okay.
From based on what I'm seeing from Drax's memories, yes.
That's okay. Sure. Why not? This is my life now. Anyway. Speaking of things being our lives now, Lucy's just getting a blood transfusion every day, it seems.
Hey, also, Dr. V, we need to have a conversation. I need you to come in about 24 hours later.
Yeah.
On that, you were talking about how you were getting rid of him with Bonnie M. The blood transfusion stuff with regards to Rasputin might be, pretty appropriate.
That's very true. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Callie, I'm so sorry. You missed him by that much.
Van Helsing by one day. We're so sorry.
One day!
He's so funny in this part of the book. He shows up, goes like, "Well, give her blood transfusion. Shit's fucked. Bye. I need my
Corn!
books."
By the way, Corn!
By the way, Corn.
And not the weird kind.
Leaving Jack off to his madmen, dismissing him. He's just had such a rapport with Lucy I kind of love it.
Oh yeah, I mean Lucy even mentions how much she likes him in her one diary entry.
Not to let Mr. Stoker off the hook too much, but if you're living in the 1880s, you're hanging around. Okay, when we're at American character, what are Americans fucking obsessed with?
Cowboys.
Corn, I guess. Corn, it's fine.
We do have a lot of corn.
They're big fans of corn. It'll do.
Except, isn't he from Amsterdam?
He's Dutch.
Yeah, he's Dutch.
Wrong geography.
Dutch.
Which one?
I'm
is
American.
America?
Quincy's the one from America.
Yeah, Quincy is
Really?
Texan. Quincy's a fucking cowboy.
Really? Quincy does not seem like an American name in the slightest.
That's actually such a good point, actually.
Yeah.
That's a very
Oh,
British
man.
name.
Quincy.
I was gonna say I was trying to think of characters named Quincy in media, and that just made me think of is he like the temp? Is in Garth Marenghi? Did Bram only know Americans through Bermudans?
I
Quincy.
don't know.
I'll have to look into it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's. I've heard some real fucking weird names around these parts.
Okay, but Quincy is one of those names where it's not even that weird, but it's unusual enough to turn heads.
Mhm.
And we do love
Named
that.
after a fruit of all things.
We love that shit. We love our double names. We love.
I mean,
Quincy? Wait, Quincy's a fruit?
Quince is a fruit.
Oh, quince is a fruit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jazz, if you were reading these books, everyone in them is a fruit.
Yes! Yay!
Yeah, basically. This is one of the less gay parts, though.
I mean, it is just about Lucy dying tragically and beautifully.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of gay, right?
Yeah. Lots of us tend to do that for some reason, especially around that time.
I'm not gonna judge Vlad too harshly, but man, if you're gonna be draining someone like that, you gotta actually know them. You gotta be there with them, especially if you're gonna turn them into a fan. I'm saying too much.
Are
No,
you?
but we do. But Lucy's diary entries
Yeah.
reference the flapping outside the window. That's Dracula bat all the way.
That is a bat.
I mean, it's absolutely Dracula, but you gotta be in the house. You gotta be talking with her. You gotta get to know her. Gotta read her romantic poetry. This time loop. I should not be telling you people this shit. This time loop's getting
This
in my
is
brain.
weirdly
y'all.
specific.
Yeah, Ellie?
Don't worry about it.
Quincy
Okay.
is in the top 1,000 names in America.
Is it really?
Okay, so Bram was
It's
on
number
to something there.
977 this year.
It's number what this year?
977.
That's nothing. It means that no one is named that this year. You
It's in the top 1,000, I said.
Yeah, you get one. You get one, and I get to at 997.
Point is, it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
And that's
yes.
2023, in fairness.
Wasn't there some, I don't know, Motown guy named Quincy?
Yeah.
And
Quincy
a composer.
Yeah, true.
I should know this. He was
Quincy
involved in one of the movies
Jones!
I covered. There it is.
Who is Rashida Jones's dad? Yeah.
Because the entire world consists of 25 people, and they're all nepotism babies. Anyway, the book.
The book, yes. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. I had to Google it.
Mrs. Westenra, please.
Stop throwing out the garlic! You are not clearing the air!
It's so funny. Whenever I read books from this era, not people reimagining this era, actual books written contemporary to this, it's always so funny to me what people think are gonna fucking help someone get better. You're sitting there reading Little Women, and Meg, I think it is dying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, what if we just went out to hang out near the ocean? That should fix you. Hanging out near the ocean.
It's something about
Newsies.
the ocean air, according to, back in that time period.
Crutchy had polio, and they're like, Santa Fe will cure your polio and make your leg work.
Oh, Newsies.
I didn't say it was good.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Newsies is not contemporary. Little Women was.
Yeah, that is also true.
That is also true, but at least it's in the same. It's accurate in that regard.
It does seem like that was kind of just the thing. People, there were people who, after having an illness, it's just yeah, go on a beach vacation, basically, which, I mean, I feel like maybe we should consider readopting that. But
If I could have gone on a beach vacation after getting COVID, I would probably be a lot happier.
yeah, I think we all would.
This is just we're like stuck in a little box. We've been sick this whole time. Might as well have a change of scene. I think that was their reasoning for it.
yeah, I
No,
guess.
the beach has sand though. Sand gets everywhere. I'm like Anakin, no
Would
sand.
do you hate sand? It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I
fucking
feel like
do.
Sam. I feel like when Sam eventually listens to this, they're going to be very mad at us for doing a Star Wars thing without them.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
We are people of a certain age. Never mind.
We're old.
We can't.
Just say that.
We are all extremely old. Some of us older than others by orders of magnitude. And that means that we can't really converse without having Star Wars or Simpsons references.
You got a point there, especially since we're about, at some point, we will be releasing our very first Simpsons episode of IER.
Spider Pig does whatever a spider pig does.
Callie, the audience can't see you doing that.
Unfortunately.
I know, I'm sad. It's also not a pig. It's Anubis.
Stop fucking with the god of death, Callie.
It's probably not a good idea.
He's a jerk.
I'm well aware.
You violate the rules of death one time and he gets mad at you. Okay, 4 or 5
Oh,
times.
bestie, I'm well aware.
4 or 5 times, you say, Ellie?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, 5 times was actually an oddly specifically funny number. But anyway, not the point.
Okay, so here's my question regarding the garlic thing, because this just kind of randomly popped into my head. Has there ever been a story about vampire slayers who run a pizzeria?
No, but now there needs to be.
But there should be. Well, like, garlic is like the quintessential Italian thing, but it wasn't originally Italian. This was like a North American thing. Like,
Of course it was.
Now, maybe I feel like Pizzeria got involved at some point in, and I'm going to say the title of this film, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, but I can't be certain. That movie is a fever dream.
Callie, are you okay?
Callie just does not compute. It's like blue screened. They just blue screened.
I am print screening that immediately.
That movie is pretty out there. I promise you will not predict any part of this movie.
No.
I mean,
why is it always Italian food? Like, Asian food is like chock full of garlic, so
That's also
imagine
true.
Dracula in a Chinese restaurant. He would not escape.
I mean, there are fusion places, aren't there? That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so fun.
And I think maybe part of the reason why it's always Italian is because they also have all the crosses.
Oh, that.
They're often
but
Catholic.
There are Catholic Asians. Like, my mom's side of the family are them.
Yeah, for sure. There are definitely Asian Catholics, but people don't realize that.
They're Catholic everythings, but like,
yeah.
Oh, Catholics.
The Roman Catholics have the best aesthetic, and everyone wants the aesthetic. Like, say what you will about the Catholic Church, they are a nightmarishly evil institution that must be destroyed. But man, they fucking slaved with those cathedrals. 10 out of 10 on that one thing.
They are big on the aesthetic, and unfortunately, we have no choice but to respect that at least.
Mm-hmm.
I don't respect the aesthetic. I separate it from the Catholic Church.
You were never even Catholic.
I'm the one who should be doing that. I'm Catholic, technically.
It's all the same.
I would say don't tell them that, but I don't care about their feelings. Sorry, Ellie, what was that?
That is you respecting the aesthetic, removing, like, taking the art, taking the organization apart from their creations. That is you respecting the aesthetic and nothing else.
Fuck the church.
Yeah. But it did lead to some really awesome visuals in Romeo plus Juliet. Speaking of stories that take place in pizzerias, there are at least 2 pizzeria-themed Romeo and Juliets that end in happy endings. It's weird.
Oh yeah, Hayden Christensen was in one of those.
Yep.
Of course he was!
Sherry Appleby was in the other.
But now I need a Van Helsing running a pizzeria.
That would be fun. And maybe they make it all hokey with the theme, like it's very monster themed. Like,
yeah.
Dear God, please.
He would be the one to run a tourist trap, like Stan from Gravity Falls.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Don't fucking tell Dracula about the concept of tourist traps. That castle will be a tourist trap before you can say "fuck off, lad."
I mean, the funny thing is, I actually did last year I did like a virtual tour of
Yeah,
Dracula's
I
castle.
did with you.
Yeah, you did, Shami.
I'll go to Transylvania and visit the castle. I will enter of my own free will.
If it's a virtual tour, then no one's entering, technically.
No, I
I
said
mean-
I will go.
Yeah, like, not gonna lie, ever since I found out that people get married there, I mean,
Perfect for a
virtual
gothic
castle.
wedding.
not the virtual tour. Like, people, like, literally go to the castle to get married.
I'll go. Let's do it.
He's already made it into a fucking tourist trap. I'm going to pull his spine out.
Can I beat him with it after you pull it out? Can I beat him?
No, do
You
it.
can try. They don't really feel that much after that. I mean, something.
Well, I'm gonna beat him with the arm that he lost, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm taking the arm that Ahul cut off, and I'm gonna beat him with it.
I mean, it was really cool because they also had, like, these projections of, like, the different monsters and folklore of the area. And, of course, it included Strigoi, which, you know, is one
Of
version of
course.
vampires.
Yeah, as you can probably tell, dear listeners, from us talking about basically anything else, there's not really a lot happening this week in Dracula Daily.
No.
Other than, again, Lucy
And
slowly
Jack
dying
is
beautifully.
Jack is just questioning everything. He's like,
Yeah.
when did medicine get like this? When was Van Helsing always like this? He's like questioning his own existence at this point.
Van Helsings are gonna Van Helsing. They will
are.
always be weird and a lot.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's like, I do feel a little, knowing what I know, I do feel bad for him when he has his breakdown when Mrs. Westenra got rid of
Yeah.
the flowers. It's just like, no, why is it always so fucking hard to beat these vampires?
Because life sucks and then you die. And then
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it-
yeah.
Yeah, I get that Van Helsing couldn't have told them what was going on, but I felt like even if he told Mrs. Westenra that it was medicinal value, that she had to breathe them in, she would have like thrown them out eventually because she's a noble lady. She does her own thing.
Oh god, would
Oof.
Mrs. Westenra be an anti-vaxxer if she existed now?
No.
I don't like that image.
No. I could see someone doing that interpretation though. Ah.
Ugh.
I don't like it.
Well, like on the one hand, yes, she is rejecting the accepted medical advice, but also the accepted medical advice at this point is like for vampires. So you could go either way.
Yeah.
But there are actual like health benefits to garlic, to eating garlic. It's supposed to like lower
Mhm.
blood pressure and stuff. I know that they didn't know about this then, but this is like garlic from the New World, and since she was an aristocrat, she probably had like very iffy thoughts about like anything to do with the Americas.
Probably. I mean, she even says in her diary entry, I don't usually like garlic, but I do actually quite like these flowers. So it's just like, of course garlic is too intense for you, you rich British lady.
She doesn't like garlic. Death penalty.
Death
What was that?
penalty. You deserve to die. Sorry,
But
bitch.
if they like, she doesn't like.
Death upon your house.
Yeah, and R.I.P.
That's
to the people with garlic allergies. Those exist.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
people live sad
But
lives,
different
and I
from
want to
not
hug
liking
them.
it.
That's different from not liking it. Yeah, I have to agree with Ellie.
That's
But-
so sad. Just push me off a cliff if that ever happens to me. Push me off a cliff. It'd be a less painful life.
Oof. So here's a question, though. Because speaking of Van Helsing, who is the most over-idealized self-insert in literature around this time? Jane Bennett or Abraham Van Helsing?
Yes.
Abraham Van Helsing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I love
listen-
them both for different reasons.
Well, yeah, of course. They're very different types of characters. Even though I guess with Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, technically you could team up that version of Jane Bennett with the
Ooh.
Van Helsings, and that would be awesome. I would read that. But yeah, Jane is just like the most perfect person, and everybody loves her, and only the mean people don't like her. Versus Van Helsing, who knows everything about fighting vampires.
And he's so eccentric, but he's still lovable.
I feel like there was like this weird kind of flex with Seward when he was giving his own blood, and Van Helsing pointed out he gave
Yeah.
more than Arthur did.
Yeah.
That was so fucking weird.
That's so petty.
But Van Helsing also was just like, listen, they're together. You are not with her.
Pull yourself together.
Friend John, please.
I feel like Van Helsing was like 3 seconds away from calling him a simp every
He was.
every scene of this book. They're together.
I mean, isn't he though? He is kind of a
He
simp.
is, and it's kind of sad.
I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that he shouldn't say it.
Yeah, get a
That's
hobby
it.
that doesn't
You know.
involve Renfield.
Yeah, please.
Please?
Take up some knitting. Read a book.
Knitting will help
Maybe
you learn
don't
to
read a
coordinate
book
your
because
hands.
he's gonna read one of those icky psychology books by Freud. No, we are not about
Okay,
Freud in
no.
this house.
Read a novel. Read some bodice rippers. Those were there back then.
Yeah, or Penny Dreadfuls.
This.
Read another vampire book that came out around this time, though. It's full of lies.
Oh.
That was oddly specific.
Everything I say is oddly specific for you guys. Come on.
Yeah, because it is.
Okay.
We're just gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
Are we though?
Well,
I mean, Jazz, I can see you adding that to your murder wall. You're not as subtle as you think you are. You have some theories you want to share.
I mean, I don't know. What are you noticing on the alleged murder wall, Ellie?
You seem to be like putting down everything I open and close the recording with on there.
I'm just noticing patterns.
Noticing patterns. Okay.
Why
don't
is
get me
there a
wrong.
random portrait?
Oh, that's Laura. That's someone I used to know.
Not on your
What's
wall.
her name?
On Jazz's murder wall.
I know. I'm looking at it.
And you
I know where
recognized
she
it
got
on
it, too, and
site,
you-
did you?
You are going to be returning that when you're done.
Well, obviously, I'm not a thief.
Thank you.
that's my job.
That's Callie's job.
What?
I'm the thief.
We each have
Callie?
the crime that we're willing to do. Callie steals, you do arson, Shami. I mean, playing Bonnie M is some sort of crime, and I do murder.
NSA. No, I do not do arson. Where did you get the idea I do arson, Ellie?
No, if I'm playing on Bonnie M, I'm doing psychological torture. That's a
Yeah.
crime.
Against the Geneva
Listen-
Convention.
I like to steal things. I'm Robin Hood. I steal things from the British museums and I
Oh,
put
no.
them back where they belong.
If anyone's doing arson, it's Ellie.
I'm stealing things from the British Museum and I'm putting them back where they belong.
I mean, fair. I think we were all in
I'm
favor
doing
of
the
that.
opposite. I'm doing the opposite of what got everybody in trouble.
Mm.
I should be blessed. So I can baby talk the little Anubis because I'm putting things back where they belong.
Dear listeners, Callie recently received a squishable Anubis. They have been baby talking it this entire time.
It looks like a capybara from this angle.
It does.
It
His
is
little
very
tongue
cute.
is out.
It is very cute. It's the mythical blep, literally.
The mythical blip. And it's the only thing keeping me sane right now.
Debatable.
I think trying to
Best-
stay sane in these circumstances is the wrong approach.
Bestie, I gotta stay sane in order to go fight Dracula in hell.
Again?
I don't think
Yes!
that's the-
How many times has this been now?
Listen, until my blorbo is free, I gotta keep doing it.
Oh,
Look,
jeez.
we are accepting that you are going to hell to find Dracula, but you are not apparently very successful at it because you have to keep
Really
doing
not.
it.
I'm
So
I'm directionally challenged. I keep
Why are you
finding
trying
everybody
to
else's
stay sane?
hell.
Unless you can access my mind link, then you're gonna have a little bit of trouble tracking him down.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not
You
linked to Almanet. I'm not linked. I got some problems here. I'm directionally challenged.
You can't track him by smell.
I have allergies.
Okay.
I'm allergic to everything.
Everyone is having all these crazy adventures, and here I am, just dealing with my regular 9 to 5. What the fuck?
Bestie, you're
You
the
do
police
not
chief
want
in
to be
this
mind
situation.
linked to Dracula. You do not.
Bestie, you're the police chief, okay?
How dare you?
No, you're like Vic, okay? You're keeping everybody like
Uh-huh.
we love Vic. We love Vic.
You're the only one keeping us tied down. Unless we float
That's
off.
not
You're
Great.
making sure I don't do anything too illegal.
Fair keeping me tied down. What do you think I'm doing while y'all aren't looking?
I don't know, Ellie. What are you doing?
My lawyer has advised I not answer that question, Jasmine.
And
Hmm.
you wonder why I have a murder wall.
Shami, you want to come with me this time? I need the mind link.
Well, only if I can bring some stuff with me. I need to be prepared.
Absolutely. Let's go. I got the steaks and I got the holy water.
I'm bringing the
Okay,
garlic
so-
then.
Okay, since you're
He's
both
one-armed
going to
anyway.
Okay, since you're both going to hell, apparently, have we got final thoughts, or shall we go into plugs?
Hey, Callie, you want to predict when Van Helsing's going to show up?
Yeah, okay.
Predict other things, like...
Predict other things.
Yes.
I don't think Lucy's long for this world. I think Lucy in the next week or two is gonna go through. And I'm gonna say this, Jazz is gonna strangle me through the screen.
I know
Lucy's about to go through death's door.
Yeah. Or is she?
Lucy's going through death's door in the next week or two, ironically.
We'll see.
I know that Lucy dies.
Mm-hmm.
But does she stay dead?
Dead.
So, like, we've all died once or twice, right?
Listen, like I have pointed out, a door can go both ways.
Exactly. That's why Anubis is mad at me.
Yeah, he is very mad at you. Look at him. Look at his face.
Yeah, he's looking really pissed off with this mythical blep, Callie.
Anubis, if you wanted me to stay dead, you should have worked harder at it.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Jazz, you heard that right?
Yeah, I did.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
In fairness, arguably, vampire myths started in Egyptian mythology.
Another thing for your murder wall?
Yeah.
Sekhmet was the first ancient Egyptian vampire, technically.
I was about to do a vampire myth, which was going to be roundabout a retelling of the vampire history from Warhammer, but I remembered no one but me is getting that reference.
Oh.
I've made lots of references only one person gets.
That is true.
So plugs?
Yes.
I'll go first. Jazz has got one of them, but I'm going to plug something for somebody else.
Okay.
Everybody, wherever you get your music from, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, etc. I don't know. Please go listen to Dalton DeShane and the Traveling Show's new single, Hell Breaks Loose. The music video can also be found on YouTube. It slaps. We're trying to get it onto the Spotify recommended. It's already made Apple's alternative music's recommendations. So please go listen wherever you find your music. They are fantastic and they deserve all the success they can get.
Yeah, the song rocks. I can second that.
Callie, you can find me on most social media at Callie Castle 10, including Twitter, Tumblr, all kinds of good social media sites like that. You can also find my other links in my link tree. I post about all kinds of random shit. I also have a couple of RP blogs that you can find in my link tree.
I'm Ellie. You can find me on Twitter, Medium, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky, LSR42, on Tumblr at Football and Tuxedos. And I'm, of course, the host of The Biggest Night in Podcasting, where we watch a randomly selected Oscar movie. We've got some good ones coming up. We got The Sound of Metal coming up in a couple of weeks. That should be pretty fun. And this one goes out to one of Drax's brides. Just remember, in the rapture of my enormous humiliation, I live in your warm life, and you shall die, sweetly die, into mine.
You are making this really hard for me to keep a lid on things. Anyways, you can find me on the online news on Tumblr, where I post listicles and graphics, and where you can find me for all your fancast requests.
And as always, you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Favor Vieira. You could also follow the show on Twitter at IER Podcast. And if you would like to help us reach the next chapter of our story, please consider leaving us a review or rating us on the podcatcher of your choice, telling all of your friends and family about us. And even better, if you have room in your wallets, please consider donating to our Patreon, our Ko-Fi page, or just the support the show link below. And now let's close out this week's Dracula Weekly. After another hour, Lucy waked from her sleep, fresh and bright, and seemingly not much the worse for her terrible ordeal. What does it all mean? I am beginning to wonder if my long habit of life amongst the insane is beginning to tell upon my own brain.